Welcome to Living Fully. Each episode is a chance to talk about mental health in a way that's simple, honest, and helpful. We'll share stories, tips, and tools to help you feel supported and feel your best. I'm your host, Catherine Hertig. Today, I'm joined by counsellor Kyle Ho for a conversation on love beyond the honeymoon stage. We're talking fun, communication, and why keeping things fresh doesn't have to mean grand gestures. From everyday habits to deeper emotional safety, Kyle shares a lot of ways to stay close and connected with your partner. Okay, today I'm here with Kyle Ho, and we're talking about relationships and dating and how to keep a strong connection after that, exciting honeymoon phase. Kyle,
Hey.
thanks for being here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me to join this podcast. I always want to be part of the role in here as well.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. So it's been a little while since you've been on. Can you tell us about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Kyle, one of the counselor from Calgary Counselling Centre, also running another program named Men Domestic Abuse Outreach Program, mainly working with men survivors who are suffering from domestic violence situation. So I have been with CCC for almost 2 years.
So how would you describe the term honeymoon phase? I mean, we've heard that a lot, but yeah, how would you define that?
Right. For myself, I think the honeymoon phase is talking about early stage in a relationship. It's always so a lot of fantasy, miracle, magic power from there. So feel a lot of romantic from there. Or you can see with only just, excitement to see each other. Have a lot of conversation easily with your partner and feels a lot of like every single moment so special with each other, right?
For sure, yeah.
So what I will describe would be why it's so special is because everything is so new, exciting, and effortless. Just want to focus
Effortless?
on everyday moment. Just want to share everything with your partner. Not big thing, small, minor thing. Just want to share with them because, get strong connected with them. Just want to be at the moment with them all the time.
So as you continue a relationship with someone, there can be a bit of a shift as the relationship progresses from that honeymoon phase. So what is this like, and why can that change kind of feel surprising to some couples?
Right. So everything we talk about fantasy is over. We come back to real life situation. It's gone. So, in a relationship starts settles and things getting more like stable and grounded, so people think that, what's going on? Why the things changing a lot? My partner is not that cute anymore. More like notice about like what's going on, what will be their personality, how their interaction or how to deal with the situation, how the differences in the conversation, because starting more like come up to the ground, what the real person looks like, how they're feeling, right?
Yeah.
So the reason why they feel so surprised about the changes is because, the excitement is gone and everything's going back to the ground, have to be settled just like normal situation, no more fantasy, have to be real again, right? So they may have a huge gap or like expectation differences in between there. And also the real situation came up, the differences, conflicts will be more easy, more noticeable to come up to have face to face with your partner anymore, right?
Right.
The last part will be more vulnerable, so more deeper connection. It brings up, deeper emotional risk come up as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know each other better. Yeah. So how can couples keep that same sense of closeness during the initial stage, even when, that excitement kind of fades?
Right. So I usually invite my client or think about something that make you feel fun, getting some fun time, laugh together, try something new, still be playful a lot of the situation, just don't be getting bored in the relationship. You're still engaging your intimacy right there, right? So getting fun, prioritize some quality time is important. Most of the people think when we get into relationship, they will be more stable. Don't think that we have to prioritize our partner at the priorities, but actually it's not. So keep making some space for meaningful moments, and also some not just only feels like being a routine, being special to your partners all the time.
For sure. Yeah. And that, it takes a bit of work, and that's not a bad thing. You've got to put in the time and the effort.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And also keep communicating in the relationship, not just only, you're my partner, everything's so done. We should be able to keep a lot of conversation in there, stay open, honesty, curious about their their life, what's going on, and how they feel about it. And also like stay physically affection on the others, physical touch, kissing, hugging, those are the important elements in the relationship as well.
For sure. So, yeah, and speaking of physicality, what are some ways that couples can kind of keep that intimacy alive, especially, when life gets stressful, busy, got lots going on?
I would say that, the relationship owned by you two, right? So, you can create some special moment of the thing that only you two know about it. For example, a morning coffee together, having some like bedtime cuddling, and also like quick daily texting, just say, I love you. Mm-hmm. That's important to others, right? Also like scheduling some time together, like don't get affected or like impacted by the daily life. There are lots of stress right there already. Occupy some moment for you and your partner, just spending some meaningful time and just enjoy and relax at the night.
Have you found, like working with any clients, that idea of scheduling in time? Now, I can see on one hand that's important because okay, we're going to have this time together. But on the flip side, could that, I don't know how to describe it, not like make things boring, but does it kind of take away spontaneity?
I think they may think that like it's just being more routine, we have to just hang out, and they're like, but that's not fun at all. It's just like, we just go for dinner and then done, go back home. But there's no sparkling moment from right there. Like even though for long years, still you're able to make fun with your partner, create some happy moments, some special moment to your partners, not just only by one person. Yeah. Both sides should be creating the moments that like feel special and then feel love in the relationship as well.
And I guess it would really be dependent on the couple, right? If spontaneity and that, spur of the moment thing is important to the couple, then they would build that in.
Yeah, for sure.
So is it normal for physical or emotional intimacy to kind of ebb and flow and change in long-term relationships?
Yeah, absolutely normal. In a long-term relationship, that physical and emotional intimacy will go ups and down for over the time. It's so normal about it. It's part about like the rhythm of being a human and growing with someone over time, right? So the key isn't avoiding about the ups and downs. It's about how you can learn and generate return, go back to each other, how to have a better communication with others, small effort and patience bring back to relationship getting better. And the most key point is learn to how to reconnect again and again.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know if I've had friends who are disappointed that they're not in the honeymoon phase anymore. I just kind of think of it like you wouldn't eat chocolate for every meal. You get sick of it. You can't have that level of excitement for your whole relationship. It's just evolved into something different, not worse. It's just you're more comfortable with that person. And I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
That's the reason I think that like sometimes when we all the time eating chocolate would be like too much.
Yeah.
You can change a little bit, but sometimes you have to bring back the memories about like the happiness for your partner as well.
Yeah.
Give them some surprise, give the chocolate back to them again. It feels like, we are dating and we are in a relationship. It's not boring. Always think about it. Long-term relationships shouldn't be boring.
No.
It should be like happiness and also like sparkling moment from there as well.
For sure. Yeah. They can be comfortable, but not boring. Yeah. So you talked about how communication is really important. And as time goes on, you might get into, a rut or a certain routine. In what you've seen, what are some common communication habits that couples have that might, create distance with each other over time?
Right. So most of the time when I work with couples, they have like a lot of issue about the communication issues, right? They avoid about vulnerability, just holding back about their emotions or concern to their partner just by don't
telling them.
Don't tell. And then like just don't want to involve anymore. I just like stay away or like just escape from the room. Don't want to be like involved.
They're avoiding it.
Yeah, for sure. And also like sometimes having some passive aggressive behavior as well.
What does that look like?
Indirect comments or instead of like speaking directly, just teasing the others and like in a bad way. So make them feel like bad and then like, you just make me feel upset about it. But I don't want to like speak to you directly. That's not good to me. But so that's more harmful. Also like not listening actively, just didn't understand about what they're meaning behind. Just like zooming out about the situation, not fully engaging in the communication with the partner as well. The most difficult and challenging part that they're facing would be like always overusing you statement, just complaining on your partner. So you did something wrong. You are the problem. You're not doing great in the situation. However, they ignore or like, disconnect about what they did to their partner as well.
Yeah. So how do we avoid those communication habits?
I would say that like being active listening is one thing, being engaging with the conversation with your partner is important, right? If you just avoid about conversation, just stonewalling with your partner, that's not helpful. And then you're just damaging about the relationship as well. In a relationship, it should be more feeling comfortable to engage or open up or yourself to share about your own opinions, right? If you scare about it and your partner don't able to let you to express it, that's a problem. So I think that like for a healthy communication, it should be having a respectful communication way, and also focus on the issue. Let's say there's something happening there and then like you two focus on about what's going on, how to fix it together as a team rather than just complaining each other's.
Yeah. It's understandable why people avoid those kind of conversations because it's uncomfortable, right? So how do you work with couples to kind of start making that more of their go-to, making it easier to bring things up with each other?
Right. That's a great question. I think that like most of the time when we talk with couples client, I will let them to think about it. So first of all, we're not talking about the problem to think about win or lose situation. We're talking about how to take advantage about the conflict in a healthy way. So we're trying to help the client to think about like to a win-win conflicts rather than win-lose situation.
Yeah.
So what we've always remind them, okay, focus on the problem, just like I mentioned, focus on the problem, what's going on in between you and your partner, what part that you and your partner can do better for the relationship, or not just, ping-ponging for each other.
Yeah,
Just
you're
find
not
the
working
solution.
against each other.
Yeah. We are like kind of like, let them know about you. Both of you are the team, same team, on the same boat. We should fix the problem together. It's not talking about, you break something and then you have to fix it by yourself. No, we have to do it together as a team. For sure.
So what would you say the difference is between kind of healthy conflict or, kind of more harmful patterns?
Right. So in a healthy conflict, like I mentioned, always have able to providing a respectful way communication to each other, able to expressing feelings to each other without attacking, right? So another thing, being active listening, hear about what people's perspective or their feeling and thought, and then wait for the response. So not just only like trying to fight back immediately, right? Also, like, again, focusing on the problem, adjusting the problem, not personal attack, and also seeking for solution. Let's figure it out together. That's about like healthy conflicts. But on the other way, or a harmful pattern would be, lack of distance and also like resentment a lot, right? And also a lot of yelling, screaming to each other, a lot of blaming for your partner,
right.
Also stonewalling, right? Shut down and then avoid the conversation at all. Just never have a solution come up with at the end, right?
Yeah.
So the more harmful patterns coming up in the communication, there will be more manipulation, gaslighting, coercive control, and also maybe abusive behavior happen as well.
And we're talking couples, right? Two individuals. So, as a relationship grows and evolves, how do you balance growing as a couple with also growing individually? Everyone has their own, hopes and dreams and plans. And how do you kind of balance those two?
Right. I mean, all the time I remind my client when we talk about in a couple relationship, don't lose your own self-identity. That's important, right?
Yeah.
So I think that like that's important for the client to think about would be like, help yourself to support individual growth. Set some target for yourself. Don't ignore your own needs. You need to have those goals as well. So encourage each other to have personal goals and passions about your life, right? Maintain about like some personal space. You need some space for yourself as well. It's not 24 hours, always just stick with your partner. You have the right to have your own space time as well. Take advantage with those spare time, and then you can do something that you want to be enjoying about life as well, right?
Well, and it also, it gives you things to talk about, if you have your own stuff, your own life, your own friends, then when you do come together, there's a lot more to say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like you can engaging with different activities and then come back together. You can share lots of fun with your partner as well, right?
For sure.
Yeah. And also I think that investing some quality time will be meaningful, so spending some meaningful time together and keep a connection along with each other. That will helpful, having some your own self-time, but also like some quality moment together, which will increasing about the relationship getting better and better.
Of course. Yeah. So the honeymoon stage is over. What should couples do if they realize that their values or goals don't quite align as much as they thought?
Right. That's the progress that most of the couples will go through, right? So I think that's important to how to handle or like find a solution to work with it. So if you see there will be like failures or goal will be didn't align about it, talk openly, talk honestly about the situation, bring up the topic. So have an open judgment-free conversation with each other, talk about what's going on and then what do you two want to have in their futures as well, right?
Again, that kind of working together, that shared vision.
Right. Also identify the difference, understand about like what would be the preference or preferred or the core value, which one would be important, find the common ground altogether. If you find it important to you and your partner, just stick with those values and then share the main core value together about it. And I think also that's important is about thinking about long term. Consider about how difference may affect you and your partner futures as well.
Yeah, I guess, certain goals and values are flexible, but others might be deal breakers.
Right. So I think like if you two get along and align about the futures for long term, more benefit to you both of you as well for the future goal.
Yeah. Speaking of that flexibility, like how does compromise kind of play into long-term love? When do you know to compromise on something and when should you stand your ground?
Yeah, conversation is play a foundational role in the long-term love, right? It's we have to compromise about it, right? So I think like the things that would be important would be like how do you create a balance about it, right? It helps both partners to feel heard and valued, and also like build a teamwork. So strengthen like over the we feelings over me versus you, right? And also like showing some respect to each other, a sign that you can create each other needs about it. That's important about it. How do you know about you compromise too much? So first thing first, you feel like you're losing yourself, right?
Right, yeah.
Like when all your needs, your values, your identity disappear and losing, that means like you compromise too much and sacrifice too much for your partner and you gonna disappear, right?
Yeah.
And also like you being silenced for your own voice, you're avoiding expressing yourself. How do you truly feeling about it? Just want to stay away with the situation. Don't want to make your partner feel unhappy about it. So that's why you just compromise yourself. Just, okay, do what you want to do what you want to like. That's not healthy. And also like you always feel misunderstood from your partner. So, all the time you just sacrifice and then your partner just don't know what would be your true thoughts or like maybe don't understand about your situation as well.
Right. Going back to the idea of fun and excitement, after that initial spark that a lot of couples have, how do you suggest keeping the relationship feeling fresh and exciting?
Right. That's most of the people think about asking about how do I do that? Like, I miss about like the sparkling moment from there. How do we do that? Right.
Yeah.
In counseling, most of the time, like ask the counselor, what should we do? I always told them like, first of all, keep dating first. Most of the time when you starting a long-term relationship, you ignore about the feeling about dating to each other. Dating is important and it's huge, right?
Yeah.
You can go for having some activities so fun, so outgoing to have something that you want to do together, creating some special moment again, right? So dating is one thing. Second thing, don't feel shy and scared about surprising your partners, right? Don't have to be big. Small, thoughtful, like things that you want to buy for a partner or like just prepare for a partner that create excitement about it, right?
My husband is great at that. Like even if it's something little, like my favorite peanut butter or something, like just little surprises. Like it seems small, but it means a lot.
Yeah, I think like men will be different with female a little bit. Men will be hidden their feelings and thought about it, right? But then once their partner do something special for them, they feel truly happy about it, right? I think that's huge and important. Especially, I know that like female will be more emotional about like those special moments, right? So I think like men will identify it, but then men also love to have some surprise as well.
Of course, yeah.
And also talking about those part, I think that trying new things is a good ideas as well. Giving some new ideas, do it together to create a moment, right? Doing something that never do it before, you can do it together to create a special moment as well.
Totally.
Yep. And also laugh it out together, keep some humor, and then playful alive as well. That's important to keep the relationship being more fresh.
Super important. Yeah. And you've talked about this a lot. The dates and the surprises, they don't have to be big. So what other small everyday things can couples do to have fun together?
I don't know you, Catherine, but I think one thing that I feel enjoyable would be like cooking together with my partner.
Yeah.
You know, we have to eat all the day, and they're like, why don't we just plan sometimes like creating some meal that you want to eat together with your partner? Just prepare the recipe, all the ingredients, and then make it a good meal for together to make it fun, right? Second thing, I think like you can have some game night. So having some board game, having some fun time with it all together, right? That's another one. I think that's a good recommendation would be like having a yes day. Never like find a day, just say yes to your partner.
I love
do something that like, you know, like never do it before, but you can't say no to your partner. Just do it yes together. So for a whole day, then you can try a lot of fun thing together.
Oh, amazing.
And then like that will be like happy forever, right? Yeah.
Switching gears a little bit, everything we've talked about, it sounds like a lot of really good building blocks of a strong relationship. You know, you like being around the other person, you feel safe. What does emotional safety look like in a relationship, and other ways that couples can build it?
Well, totally. Emotional safety is the most important part, right? You know, like think about it. If your partner don't able to provide you emotional safety, there will be a lack of trust and like disrespectful, a lot of conflicts from right there, right? So I think all the time talk about with the partner or client that will be like, you know, have to create emotional safety with your partner as well. So talk about how to create it. So first of all, there will be like non-judgmental listening, right? Don't ignore, don't neglect about your feelings or thoughts from your partner. You know, try to provide or create a space for your partner expressing feelings without any fears or criticisms. That's important. Second thing is trust, you know, confidential, that your partner, you're able to feel like safe in the space. And you know that,
trust
they
is
will
huge.
be, trust the feeling, trust the fact that like, you know, my partner is trustworthy and then I can trust them and just talk about whatever my problem or my weaknesses, right? The conversation, you know, share your true self without fear or rejection. You know, in the with your partner, it should be the person that will make you feel safe and secure all the time. You'll be no worry about sharing your fears or like worries about it all the time, right? And also like, you know, building a respectful communication. You're being kind, being thoughtful about the conversation, and even though during the disagreement, you're still able to provide the respectful way to your partner that make you feel secure and safe, right? The last but not least, the emotional support is the most important part, right?
Yeah.
So offering a comfort, understandable in tough time to your partner.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Is there anything else that you want to leave our listeners with? Anything that we haven't talked about?
I think that like the most important part to keep the relationship in a happy moment, think about your partner. You know, all the time, you know, this is the one that you choose to love the partner, and then like they are worth it that you put all the effort, put the priority over everything, right? That's one thing. And also like be present, you know, like fully focus with your partner, just stick with them, enjoy the moment with them, enjoy the time with them as well. And
that's probably a big one that we all can do a little better with, especially with our phones. Just putting those down and being present to each other.
You never know about what's going on with the next moment, right? All the time that you want to be, you know, stick with your partner, together with the one that you love all the time, spending time with them, just enjoy the moment with them, be present. And also, just like I mentioned, communication in a healthy way and like openly, you know, don't judge your partner, just be curious about what they think about it, you know.
Curious.
Yeah,
like
curiosity would be like important, right? If you don't be curious about what you think about from your partner, you never know the answer. Keep digging, keep asking about questions, be curious about like what they think about, and then the more you know about what they thought, the more you discover about the different ideas from them as well.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. I have to go and brainstorm some ways to surprise my husband.
Totally.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Living Fully, a Calgary Counselling Centre podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This episode was produced by Nick Here, Louisa Campos, Manuel Montano, Jenna Forbes, and by me, Catherine Hertig. A special thanks to Kyle Ho. To stay up to date on our latest episodes, be sure to subscribe. We're available in your favorite podcast app. Living Fully is a production of Calgary Counselling Centre and recorded in Calgary on Treaty 7 territory. Living Fully podcast is not a substitute or alternative for professional care or treatment. Calgary Counselling Centre and Counselling Alberta provide effective counselling to anyone in Alberta with no waitlist and no financial barriers. Find us online at calgarycounseling.com and counselingalberta.com. For help across Canada and the United States, call 211. If you are outside of Canada and the US, seek help from your general medical practitioner.